Ankles. I'm going to try to give you as much as I know about strengthening the ankles. One of the ways I like to first start is honestly walking backwards with a sled, but you know how that works. One of the first ways too is on a yoga mat, and I don't use my socks for a lot of these things, but I first start off just like this with my toes curled in, and I'm going to sit. I do my yoga mat series for 30 seconds to a minute. Once I'm done with these, I'll flip them out just like that, and I'll come up some more, and I'll lean back as far as I can. A lot of people start off right here, and that's fine. If somebody needs assistance to hold on to something, because that's a lot of pressure, that's fine. But over time, you want to go all the way back down, as much as you can. Another way I like to work my ankles from here is with this one down, or it doesn't matter which one, opposite leg up, and I sit on my ankle to make it a little bit more intense, if you will. I like to push my foot outside my glute. So I push my glute inside, and I push my ankle on the outside, and I'm just sitting. Kind of sit down in a little tight pose. And I'll switch it. Remember to keep the ankle on the outside of my body, glute on the inside, and I sit down just like that. Another way is I'll put them both down. I'll put them both down and try to keep my feet straight, and then I'll do another variation in a minute, just like this. Very similar to the other one. And then for this one, I will also kind of put my feet, let's put it this way. Kind of put my feet on like this. Instead of being straight, per se, I'll angle them, toes on the inside, and I'll sit just like this. Ankles on the outside, keep my toes pointed in. One of my last series I like to do is I'll get back in this pose, just like this, and then I'll do 10 squats, keeping this foot, the top of my foot, on the ground the whole time. Just come up, down. I'll do 10 a leg. Foot never leaves the ground. Try to keep as much of my top foot on the ground as possible. 10 each side. And I believe that is my yoga mat ankle series. And I'm trying to make sure I got it all. Yes, let's move on. Another way I like to do, if I have a serious ankle sprain, I like to use these floss bands, essentially. I will wrap this around my foot. You don't have this, and you don't need this. Like, you can come see me, and we can work on this, but all I would do is wrap this around your ankle, around your foot a little bit, but wrap it around the ankle and the bottom of the foot, and then I'll get on a stage or something, or a bench, and then I'll work my foot around clockwise, maybe like 15, 20 times, counterclockwise, same amount, and then I'll do back and forth till I can't do any more. And I'll only work on the ankle that needs it, and then I'm done with this. That creates some blood flow, and that's good for the ankle. So I use this a lot for ankle sprains, whoever has them. Floss bands, also called Hootle bands. Another one I like to do, trying to stay, is 2 calf raises variations. The first one is simple. It's a standing calf raise. You can do it on any kind of platform. I set these up already, but I'm always going to hold on to something. I got a bar here. Keep one foot on, one foot off, and try to keep, I don't know, maybe a quarter of my foot on something. And all I'm doing is going up and down. Up, full extended, full extended, and down. If you want over time, you can put some weight and the opposite arm. So my right hand is here, my left hand, I would have some weight here, holding it like a dumbbell, up, down. Don't fly through them, take your time. Standing calf raise, then I'll switch. Second calf raise variation. Seated calf raises. Wish you had actually a better angle for you would be probably this. So you might see the ankle getting worked. When I like to work my ankles, I like to work above my ankles, below it, which is a lot of my footwork, to the sides, in front of it, which we're going to get the tibs. Because once you get an injury or a sprain or any kind of discomfort, it's good to work around it as well. So a lot of these, sometimes they target just the ankle, sometimes they work in different positions of the ankle. Seated calf raises. I like to go heavy, and you should go heavy. This gets above the knee, or excuse me, above the ankle. And it also gets some ankle mobility. So heavyweight, I got a 40, I usually do like a 70, whatever is pretty heavy for you. And when it comes to weights, I like to do high reps. High reps, like I'll do probably 20 of these per leg. But I put it on my knee, and I have one hand on. Try to have no to little. What's the word I'm thinking of? Try not to hold the weight as much as you can. Try to have all the weight mostly on your knee and your leg. And then I'll push this foot right here back some more till my heel comes off the ground. Heel's on the ground, keep coming back till it's off the ground. Rest it. This angle. You're just gonna go up, down. Fully extended, no need to rush it. When it comes to early rehab, don't worry about fast movement or just some kind of high pace. You'll get that in your volleyball practices or in your sports practices, in your workouts and plyometrics. Don't worry about that right now. 20 to 25 of these. Seated calf raises. Next one I like to do, that's my calf series. I got another one, but that's not necessary. Split squat, one of my favorite. You can use any kind of height that you want. I like to start a lot of athletes off with chairs, but I'm just going to start here. You can just work your way down. Like if you would start with the chair, then you might start with a second step, then a third step, or the first step, then something like this, one of these, then to the ground. But I'm here for now. And all the split squat is some points of contact. Your front foot is always fully on the platform that you're using. Back foot always on my toes, never on my heels. Always on my toes, so I'm stand up. Keep your torso back, and I'm just going forward. Try to keep this back leg straight as much as you can. It won't be perfect, but as much as you can. And try to keep this heel on the platform, so don't let it rise up like that. At least not yet. That's all you're doing. Hips forward, lean back, because you don't want to be leaning on your knee. Don't do that. It's like this. Hip flexors, ankle mobility, quads, a little bit of hamstring, a lot of this muscle you're getting. Tibialis raises. I would do 10, 12, 15 reps. That's your split squat. Okay? Next one, tibialis raises. Everybody at Founders should know these because I talk about them so much. But you can use the bar, or you can use a wall. Pretty simple, right here. All you would do, keep your glutes on the wall. Keep your glutes on the wall, and not your back. You can put your hands on your thighs, doesn't matter. And all you would do is honestly, toes up, hold it, toes down. Toes up, toes down, toes up. I'm not going fast. Don't need to go fast. I can hold at the top a little bit. But the further you are from the wall, the harder it is. The closer you are, the easier. So over time, just move your feet out a little bit at a time. Those are your tibialis raises. Next, deep squats. If you're ever squatting, I'm a fan of full range of motion, which goes into squatting. A lot of people squat just like this. I recommend deep squats. So when I squat, and it's good for your ankle mobility, all the way down to your hamstrings cover your calves. If you're squatting, squat that way. That's good for your ankle mobility. Also, I like to spend time just sitting in the deep squat position. Just 30 seconds to a minute. I'm down here. It's good for the ankles. A lot of people like this. Whoa, I can't do it. Bad ankle mobility, or lack of ankle mobility. So if you're like this, you're like one of these people who have to keep their heels up, just grab something to keep you down. And over time, you'll let that go. Deep squats. Another one is PVC pipes. You've seen these. I think I've worked with y'all with these, but essentially we got a bunch in our weight room or locker room. But PVC pipes, I'll get them. Stay here. All you do, spend some time standing on this. You would stand on this. You can also walk backwards on this, walk forwards. Just spend time here. If you're only at a point where you can just barely stand on it, stand for a while. You can hold something, or if you need to hold something while you're going forward, that's okay too. You can also practice squatting on these as well. Whoa, that's tough. Or you can get 2 PVC pipes and put them parallel with one another. If I had another one here, I'll just put my foot on it. Whoa, that's crazy on camera. But since you put one here and the other one on here, and you can practice balancing like that, or you can go just in and out with your feet and ankles. That's how I use my PVC pipe. It's been very beneficial for athletes. PVC pipe. Wobble board. My wobble board is not with me, but I know you have seen that. All it is, and actually, let me get it, okay? All it is this guy. Some people make fun of me because it's like, isn't that for old people? No, that's for young people too. So I practice my balancing on this. Am I balancing? If I want to get another good workout, I'll work on one foot at a time. I would need to balance on something. Yeah. Get the balance on this. Essentially, I'll put my foot, I'll angle it, not in the middle, but kind of down some. And then one foot at a time. It's almost like those tibialis raises or the calf raise. That's what I would do. Remember, keep your foot down a little bit, not so much forward or in the middle, but down. You can also offset your foot more towards the inside and now work, I think it's called, not inversion, but eversion on the outside. And you would just work going this way. And then you send your foot on more on the right side and work on the inside. I think that's eversion. So, that's tough actually. I think that's more on the inside actually. You should go in on the inside now. That's working that ankle and putting it in a position that you might get in for an ankle sprain. Well, a lot of ankle sprains is obviously when the ankle collapses on the inside, even on the outside. So you're working your foot to get in those positions. So that's how I use my wobble board. just a few minutes on that. I'm looking at my sheet. That keeps me in order. Follow board. I like to also walk barefoot on my toes. On my toes. So this doesn't take much. I might walk the length of the court just on my toes. Whoa. That was on camera too. Just walk. Spend some time walking on your toes. I'm not telling you to buy new shoes, but a lot of modern shoes are made with a tight toe box. And so a lot of shoes just kind of, just picture this as your foot. A lot of shoes kind of squeeze our foot. There's a lot of things that does to your foot, which I want to talk about on this video. But as much as you can, I'm not saying buy new shoes. I would say two alternates. Try to spend time barefoot as much as you can, even without the socks. Even without the socks, because a lot of those socks as well are kind of squeeze the foot, not as much as a shoe would, but spend as much time as much as you can barefoot. And kind of what goes hand in hand with that is try not to spend a lot of time in modern shoes like cowboy boots and school shoes, chapel shoes. You know, just if you're capable of spending time out of it, I would spend time out of those shoes and let your foot naturally spread and separate and utilize muscles that's in there that you can't really use because the foot gets squeezed in shoes, etc. That's what I would say about that. Tight shoes walking barefoot. I wanted to mention one more, and that is essentially, oh yes, okay. Last one, I think I meant to use this on my yoga one. Make sure I got this movement right. Oh yes, I do. This is kind of tough because essentially what you would use is like a chair. Let me get another chair. I got these two cones. That's okay. So yeah, essentially, what you're trying to do is again mimic or put your ankles in positions where they're weak. So what I would do is essentially What I would do first, I wouldn't start off with that. I might start off with just holding my foot like this, just kind of forcing my ankle to roll out there, each side. Then I would do both. Oh, it's kind of tough, but all you're doing is trying to put yourself down on the ankles. If that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't, maybe it does, but that's what you're doing. I would not do, let's just look at me now. I would not do all of these at once. I think it's good if you have weak ankles to do at least all of them in a week. So if you do 2 today, 3 tomorrow, 2 there, 1 there, whatever it works, I think it's good to do at least all of them once a week. But at a minimum, do a couple every day. Even if you got a couple that works best for you and you're seeing a lot of progress with, I would stick with those and then add another one in over time. You can increase weight in these things, like when we did the split squat. Once you feel like your mobility is good where you can go fully out and you can go lower, you can start putting weight in your hands. We talked about weighting for your hands for the seated calf raises. Whenever you need assistance, use assistance, something like this. These racks, chairs, I think that's good. And then last thing, you should have a warm-up. If whatever your injury is, whether it's ankles or knee or back, whatever, part of your warm-up for your sports needs to be, let's say it's ankles. Part of your warm-up needs to be something for your ankles. So you show up to practice, before I even really start running, I would do a couple of these exercises to get my ankles warmed up. And honestly, one of the best ways to warm up is with a sled. Or if you don't have a sled, our gym does, but if you don't have one, even at home, you can use your treadmill if you have a treadmill, gym, home, or whatever, and turn that, weird angles, turn that treadmill off, and say the treadmill, you're facing this way. You turn around, treadmill's off. You hold on to the rails, and you just, now you got to see my feet. And all you're doing is keeping the trail in motion, and you're kind of walking. It looks kind of weird now, but you're walking backwards on your treadmill. You keep the treadmill going by keeping yourself in motion as well. But that is a phenomenal workout that will not tax your body. Like, you will never be, I can't say never, but you most likely will never be sore if you're using backward sleds or backward treadmill walking. That's so good for having blood flow throughout your knees and pretty much your lower extremities, like your ankles. But have one of these, two of these, or three of these as part of your warm-up. I hope that this helps.